In this video, we're going to be going over the best beginner tips for GTA 5 Online, but before we get into the video, I just want to remind you to smash that subscribe button. It's completely free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's literally no good reason not to subscribe, and it really helps out the channel, so please just take a second and make sure you're subscribed. Whether it's for stealing a car or robbing a convenience store, you'll no doubt be faced with the LSPD at one point or another when playing GTA Online. And running from the cops can be really annoying and difficult if you're new to the game and don't have any useful vehicles. Because of this, the first tip that I wanted to talk about is that you can actually call Lester, and he can remove your wanted level for $200 per star, or for free if you've completed the Doomsday Heist as the host. This is a super useful feature in the game that a lot of the more experienced players know about, but if you're new to the game and don't know about it, it can be really helpful in a lot of situations. Another major problem that a lot of new players face is getting around the map quickly. One way to get around this is by stealing a helicopter from one of the many spawn locations around the map. This will help you travel around Los Santos and complete missions much quicker. Also, if you're far away from a helicopter spawn location, you can call Merryweather and request a helicopter pickup. Once a helicopter arrives to pick you up, you can just take out the pilot and fly the helicopter yourself. I think there is a level requirement for doing this though, so you might not be able to do it at level 1. The next tip that I wanted to talk about is that you shouldn't try to fight high level players, or really anyone for that matter if you're new to the game. This is because more experienced players have a lot of really overpowered weaponized and armored vehicles, and if you mess with them, you can rest assured that they'll spawn kill you with these for the next 30 minutes just to teach you a lesson. Also, higher level players have more health than you, and they also have access to better armor and weapons that'll make your starter pistol look like a Nerf gun. I know you might think you're tough, but trust me, you're much better off just leaving the other players alone until you get some decent weaponized vehicles. If you do end up getting in a fight, something you'll realize really quickly is that your health bar only regenerates halfway, and in order to get back to full health, you need to eat snacks. Snacks can be bought from any of the convenience stores across the map, or you can get them for free if you have an arcade, CEO office, or facility. If you don't have any of these properties, it's not a big deal since they're really cheap at the convenience store, and even for beginners, they shouldn't make a dent in your bank account. Having snacks is super important if you're planning on doing any mission or heist that involves fighting NPCs, and they're also useful in free roam if you get into any fights there too. Because of this, I would definitely recommend stocking up on snacks whenever you get the chance. Something that's really difficult for beginners in GTA Online is making money, since when you start out, you don't get any businesses or heist properties and the game doesn't really give you that much information about how to make money. Because of this, the next tip that I want to talk about is the best ways for beginners to make money in GTA. To make money as a beginner, I would recommend doing the 3 scavenger hunt and treasure hunt style free roam challenges. These include bounty hunting with mod, completing the treasure hunt, and killing the San Andreas Slasher. And after you do all these, you'll probably have a little over $800,000 in your bank account, with only an hour or 2 of work. For the bounty hunting missions, you'll need to kill 5 targets across the map, and then afterward you'll be given a hatchet as a reward. Once you get 25 kills with the hatchet, you'll receive a $250,000 reward along with $5,000 to $10,000 for each of the bounty hunting targets. For the treasure hunting mission, you'll need to search a few areas of the map and look for clues after you get emailed the initial hint location. Once you find all the clues, you'll be rewarded with a revolver, and after you get 50 kills with the revolver, you'll get an additional $250,000. The final mission is killing the San Andreas Slasher, which will involve finding various clues across the map and then going into the desert at night and waiting for him to spawn. Once you kill the Slasher, you'll receive $50,000 and the Navy Revolver. If you get 50 kills with the Navy Revolver, you'll get an additional $200,000 reward. You should be able to find a lot of really in-depth guides for all of these online, which will make them super easy to do. After you get all this money, you might be tempted to buy a cool new sports car or maybe a few new outfits, which brings us to our next tip, which is to save up your money. I know this might be difficult after you just spent a lot of time grinding, but you would really be better off just saving your money up for a new business or heist property to help you make even more money in the future. I would recommend waiting to buy a lot of fancy sports cars and clothes until after you get a few businesses up and running, just so you have a stable source of income and don't end up being broke after making your first big purchase. Speaking of big purchases, another tip that I have is to make sure you do a little bit of research before making any big purchases. This is because you don't want to dump all your money into a bad business or vehicle that doesn't end up making you any money. This can be prevented pretty easily just by looking at a guide, and I definitely recommend that you do this before buying something. I'm definitely speaking from experience when I say this, since when I was new to the game, I ended up making some pretty bad decisions that have caused me to waste millions of dollars. Another tip for GTA beginners that I wanted to go over is to go to flight school at LSIA and complete some of the missions there. These teach you how to properly fly an aircraft in GTA, which can be really difficult for beginners. The missions are pretty easy and the pay isn't that bad for beginners. Also, the flight school allows you to test out a lot of the planes in the game without actually buying them, which is awesome if you're looking into buying some aircraft. The last tip that I'm going to talk about in this video is going over how you can actually teleport in GTA Online. In order to do this, you need to own a property that is also a possible spawn location. Then all you have to do is set it as your spawn location in the interaction menu and join a new session. When you spawn back into the game, you'll spawn in the location that you picked, which can save you a lot of time if you're trying to travel across the map. Thanks for watching, check out one of these videos next, leave a like and subscribe.